One day we went to Soak City, it's a water park. The next day we went to the beach, and we had so much fun. The only thing that takes away from the fun and the safety of going to places with, as a family with young children, well, I guess it's a place where obviously you're going to take kids, but obviously they also have some larger rides for like older people, grown-ups. And it just caught my attention how there were like two, I want to say they were young adults. I hope they were young adults and not younger, although it's possible. But the bathing suits were like, it was nudity pretty much. There was nothing covering the backside. And I just, had to tell my kids, like, hey, if you see people that are not like covering their privacy, look away, because I'm like trying to preserve their innocence as long as possible. I don't want to draw attention to the bad thing, A lot of that also at the beach, women. And before that, I was rushing to find my daughter a bathing suit, because turns out she outgrew the one I was saving from last summer. I had the hardest time looking for something modest for my daughter. They have openings like showing the waist. They have tiny little, like, they almost look like bikinis, but for little girls. And I'm talking about sizes, youth sizes, small, medium, large, which is for little girls 10 and younger. I don't want to teach my daughter that it's about looking sexy or like showing this part of your skin. Not to mention, you're gonna get like weird suntans. I mean, they had the long rash guards, but they were like exposing the midriff still. And the ones that did have it, they didn't have shorts as an option. I remember a few years ago, if I'm not mistaken, that was normal, that you had swimsuits for kids, even for like women, and you had the option of, it came with both, like, or one or the other, where it came with the regular bathing suit, like the underwear shape, and then it also came with like shorts that you would put over it. I couldn't find something appropriate, so what I end up doing, if I don't go online, because if I had more time I would go online and look for something appropriate. There are more options online. What I do is, when I can't find something, I try to just find the very basic, like the straps and just one piece without any openings. That's like the modest option. And then I go to their sports wear for little girls, and I look for the ones that are like the bike shorts, that the material is like for exercising, so it's like more appropriate than like cotton that weighs more if it's wet. So I went and I got that. It always just, the question comes up, and I'm like, why do we have it right for boys, men? So simple. You have your shirt, your basic shirt, your rash guard shirt, long sleeves, short sleeves, and you have your basic shorts, which comes with the the little underwear or whatever inside it. Why do we have it right so simple, so basic for our boys? And I'm glad that the boys are having good options, but I'm just so disgusted by how we can't do the same for little girls. I don't understand in what world that is masculine for little girls. We can do pink shorts, we can do pink shirts, add flowers to it, and now it's girl version. I just don't understand. Little girls do not need the perfect tan. Sometimes women will go for the swimsuit that it'll give you a nice tan throughout your body, and vanity, right? Like, we don't need a perfect tan. That's just our vanity. The answer is because we're in a very immoral, broken world. And it's so sad. I think even Christians are losing sight of this. We're not being the light. We're not being the salt. We're just going with the flow. And we're not teaching our girls from a young age, cover your privacy, dress modestly. Not for the wrong reasons, but out of respect for your beautiful body. You are valuable. And that's something to keep for yourself. not to mention we're teaching safety, that you do not show your privacy to anybody, not extended family members, not strangers, not teachers. We're teaching girls to respect their bodies, and they grow up and hopefully they continue to respect their bodies as they get older. These are lessons that if you're not taught as a little girl, you don't really have that right perspective about modesty when you're older. And obviously people can teach modesty the wrong way, but like, move that aside. The truth is, I mean, there's a reason why we wear clothes. The fact is, I'm not a man, but from the research I've gathered from non-Christians and Christian men, teenagers, boys, throughout my life, the way you dress impacts how people will look at you, and that's just something that we need to be aware of. There is grace too, though, for women. The other day I wore something that I had saved. Also, I got it from my last year's summer bin. I thought it was really cute. I like the brand. It's nice quality. It's a little high though. It's like the shorts were like a little high. And then for whatever reason this year when I wore it, because I just grabbed that thinking, okay, that'll be fine for after the water park. And when I put it on this year, it felt way too high this year. I don't know if I changed, maybe my body changed too from one year to the other. Whatever the case is, I felt very self-conscious as I was like walking, and the thought came to my mind, like, men probably think that I want them to look at me right now, that this is why I wore this, but actually I'm feeling very uncomfortable wearing this, and I hope no one's going to like stare at me, because it did feel like really, it felt like look at me type of clothes. So I just remembered thinking, you know what, although we are teaching modesty as Christians, we also have to realize that sometimes women do wear something that seems to say, look at me, but actually that's not the message we're trying to send. And always, like, the polite thing to do is don't stare. And men also, like, come on guys, like, men seem to think it's okay to just be without their shirts. I disagree. I think men should also be wearing tops. I mean, sure, you want to wear like a sleeveless shirt, that's great. Because sure, like, there are certain things about ourselves that we just can't hide. Even if we dress nicely, I mean, you just can't hide your curves, your muscles or whatever. Or lack of. At least there's the intent and the promotion of a good society that values modesty, and that we don't want to just continue to go further and further to the point that we see it's more common that young women are wearing like nothing, pretty much, swimsuits that are nothing. And we don't want that. We don't want to live in a world like that, right? It's kind of the extreme of, like, there's the extreme of women having to cover up everything, right, in certain countries. And then you have the extreme of women not covering anything, pretty much.